Hey guys, what's up there? Welcome to United Chokros. DV and AB show is back. And look at AB's expression. He's so happy, so excited. It is that time of the year when international games are going on. There are no club football games. And we get to talk a lot about transfer activities, players moving out of the club, players coming into the club. We will discuss all about that transfer gossip, rumors, also an interesting situation around Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's new contract. We are going to talk about that, and at the end of the show, we are going to do a small Q&A, guys. So stay tuned and watch the entire video, and do subscribe to our channel. We are on our way to 500 subscribers. So please make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button if you like this video. So AB, welcome on the show. How are you doing today? Just warm, day in Mumbai. How is it at your end?
Well, Dave, before I start, I would like to say wish everyone a very happy Holi in advance, and just stay safe and enjoy the festival. Everything is good, DV. The only thing is missing Premier League action on the weekend, but
Yeah, absolutely.
really happy to see that they are getting international breaks as well, because that is very
Correct.
much important for the players. So just waiting for 4th April so that we can come back to our footballing action and watch our games much more.
Yes, yes. Just now a week to go, and players will be back from the international games. Now, before I dwell into the transfer activities, the players, moving in and out of the club, I want to talk about interesting news coming out of Manchester United. Is that irrespective of where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer finishes at the end of the season, whether he finishes second or fourth, or we don't qualify for the Champions League, or we win the Europa League or not, he is going to be offered a new contract, and it seems like the board is convinced that he is the right man for the job. And looking at the long-term perspective, that's why they hired John Murtaugh and Darren Fletcher, keeping in mind that Ole is going to stay here for a very, very long time. So, AB, before I talk about what I where I stand on the situation, do I feel is this the right decision? I want to know your perspective. Do you think it is a wise decision to give him a new contract, or maybe they should have held it till the end of the season, have a discussion, look at the progress, because you know it is very early. It's just that it seems that they've already made it of they've already decided that they're going to give him a new contract. It's just they're going to make it official at the end of the season. What do you think? Is it the right decision?
See, DV, for me, it's like it's 50-50 for me. It's okay to give him the contract because even, the positivity that I see from Solskjaer is he had requested for a lot of players at the start of
Hmm.
the season. But unfortunately, as you know, our board did not give him the players that he wanted. But if you see his long run, he's still continuing the run in the Europa League, doing fairly good in the Premier League. I would not say he's doing perfect or he's doing a superb
Hmm.
job. He's doing fairly good, I would say. So,
Correct.
just maybe I can give him the benefit of doubt. Had he been given the good players or the players that he wanted, maybe we could have a better result right now. Maybe we would have been a part of the Champions League. Maybe we would have been top in the Premier League. Anything could have happened. But
Correct.
looking at
Correct.
his current form right now, I think so he's doing a fairly good job. I would be okay with him giving the contract extension. But at the same time, I feel it's a bit early, not exactly very early though, because there's much more to go in the Europa League. There's much more to go in the rest part of the Premier League for the rest of the season. So somewhere he should not be complacent that what, it does not really matter where the club ends because he's already got the contract. That should not be his attitude. I hope that's not the attitude. He's a true United fan, that a true United player the way he was. So if he really feels that, he will go 100% out and give his 100%. But apart from that, I feel it's a fair deal, a 50-50 deal for me. So I feel it's fine. What do you feel, Deep?
Yeah, I think it's too early to make that decision. I think we need to wait till the end of the season. Look, how where he finishes. Yes, you're right. You rightly said that in spite of not getting the backing that he needed from the board, he's still doing a pretty decent job in the league position. The only problem that I have is the style of play. I do not want that two deep lying players sitting back and protecting our centre backs. It doesn't offer any creativity. We nick in a goal, we sit back and defend. Those 1-0 wins are going to get exposed like it got exposed against Leicester City. So I think from what I am guessing is he's doing that because he's not got backed in the transfer window, doesn't have a centre back who he can rely on. That's why he's playing two deep lying midfielders. I hope that changes if we get a centre back in the summer transfer window. But if he's going to do that the next year as well, next season as well, then I think there is going to be a lot of questions asked. All as you can see on Twitter, Ole out was trending last week, and it is majorly due to the style of play. A lot of fans are not happy with we sitting back and basically hitting the teams on counter attack and making a 1-0 win. This is basically not a United way. This is more of like a Mourinho style play, and that's why Mourinho was sacked. That's why fans turned on Mourinho, because of his style of play. So that's what I don't want from Solskjaer. Apart from that, he's done a pretty decent job. In spite of not getting back in the summer transfer window, what he's doing is pretty decent. Yes, we could have done better in the FA Cup. We could have done better in the Champions League group stages. But then again, it's an argument, a debate that we can go on and on. But I think yes, maybe yes, it will be a right decision. But again, need to wait till the end of the season where he finishes second. I don't expect anything less than second position. And I think from where we stand, the team that we are in the Europa League, I think we should easily win. I think Arsenal is the only tough competitor. We have beaten Ajax in the past. We've beaten Roma easily in the past. So I don't think it should be a difficult, draw. Even if, let's say, if we get past Granada in the quarterfinals and then we meet Ajax and Roma and then Arsenal in the final, it shouldn't be that difficult. So yes, it's second place, Europa League, and yes, give him the new contract. That's what I would say. So yes, again, let's wait till the end of the season what he does, and how his style of play, does he change? Does he turn on do the more attacking job? Does he buy the actual players? I do not want another Van der Beek at the club anymore, because it is pointless buying a world-class player and then putting him on the bench for the entire season. It's pointless. So these are some of the points that I don't like about Solskjaer, and I think he will improve if he gets the backing of the board. Now, yes, talking about the backing of the board, players in the transfer window, we are going to talk about this interesting player links that we have right now. We've been linked to a lot of centre backs over the past 1 year, because you and I have been talking about centre backs. And the entire United fan base is talking about the need of a centre back, because that's where we were lacking. We were conceding goals. Scoring goals was not an issue. Conceding was the problem. Yes, in the past few weeks in the Premier League, we have fixed that. But again, it's a temporary fix. And from what I have heard, in the international break, United board has down with the Solskjaer along with Mufc and Fletcher, and finalize that we're going to sign either Pau Torres, Jules Kunde, Rafael Varan. Now, before I take your opinion, I'm going to talk about these three players. Pau Torres is basically a Villarreal player, a left-footed player, centre back, really good in the air. He's pretty decent with his speed, and he's one of the best centre backs in La Liga. He starts for Spanish national along with Sergio Ramos. Real Madrid want him, so good choice. The only fear that I have is he shouldn't be another Van der Beek, wherein we buy him and then he sits on the bench and again Lindelof and Maguire start. The next one is Jules Kunde. He's been rated all across the globe really well. A lot of clubs like him. Bayern were in for him. Man City was in for him. Real Madrid want him. A lot of clubs want him. Excellent centre back, just 22 years of age. He's French national, a brilliant player. He's been rated highly by a lot of scouts all across the globe. And for me, I think this is the signing that we should go for, because he will improve our defense very well. And the last option, Rafael Varan. I don't need to tell you about Rafael Varan, how good he is. Champions League winner multiple times with Real Madrid. Yes, he's 28 years of age, but then he's on his peak of his career, and signing him would be a really good option. Pau Torres will come for around 30-40 million. Kunde 50-60 million. Same for Varan. What would you go for, AB?
Without a doubt, I would go for Rafael Varan, because he's the need of the hour and he needs to start from game one. That is what I see. I would either rest, Lindelof or Maguire, but 90% I would rest Lindelof. Somehow I still don't trust him 100%. Nothing to feel bad about it, but that's how we see the game, David. That's how we want our team to perform. We want someone like a Rafael Varan who can dominate the defense, because dominance is what I don't see in our defense. We are good at the defense. At times we do fumble here or there, but there are some players, your center back are the main players who can, defend and not put your goalkeeper under pressure. But that is the exactly opposite what we are going through nowadays. Our goalkeepers are the only one who are handling the maximum pressure, whereas that's the duty of the center back at this point of time. Maguire has improved in the last 4-5 games, if I see. So is Lindelof, but there is no consistency, and that's what I've been always talking about. There is no consistency in the defense. Yes, 1 or 2 games we do simply a superb job, But again, the next 4 games is the same thing. Is a lapse in defense because of which we, concede easy, silly goals, I would say, and lose 3 crucial points. So I say, the exit from the Champions League, exit from the FA Cup, it's everything I would go for the defense, TV. If defense had been strong, I think so we would have been a good competition in all the leagues, be that Champions League, be that FA Cup, and even for Premier League for that matter. So for me, it's Rafael Varan who has to start from game one. There's no second thought about it. He has to come and he has to start strong. That's the only thing I would say. As you said, Torres, if he would start, he could be another Van der Beek. He could be played couple of games again, he would be on bench, and this would keep on happening again and again. But Varane, as you said, there's no introduction that is needed for him. He has to start for the game. So I think so that's the ideal, the replacement, I would say, either for a Lindelof or a Maguire. It has to be Rafael Varane. What do you say, Davey?
Rafael Varan. I would welcome Rafael Varan at United, a wonderful player, multiple times Champions League winner. Basically, he is a winner on the pitch. He's been played for he's been playing for a world class team, and I think he will rapidly improve our defense. And yes, of course, either one of them, Lindelof and Maguire, will have to sit out. That's the positivity of getting Varan. The only issue that I have with the Real Madrid and Man United are not in good terms, especially after that David De Gea thing that happened. After that, they literally took revenge on us by not selling Morata. And then again, with Reguilon last season, it happened. So again, relations are not good with the United and Real Madrid. But yes, if Rafael Varan wants a way out and United are ready to pay what, Real Madrid want, I don't think it should be much of a problem, because Real Madrid have already, it's a done deal for David Alaba, and he's going to have a huge wage bill. They're looking to give Sergio Ramos a new contract, again a huge wage bill. So yes, they will, ship out one defender. It's going to be Rafael Varane. Doesn't want to sign a new contract because he's either not getting the required wages or something is not right at Real Madrid with him. So he is looking to leave. The chances of him are going to Paris, PSG are more likely. But yes, if our board can, John Mutega and Darren Fletcher have been hired for this reason, if they can act very quickly and, get into sign Rafael Varan, it would be really amazing. If you ask me out of the three, I would go for Jules Kunde. Like I said, I like Rafael Varan, a born winner, but Kunde is basically a long-term and exactly what we need. 22 years of age, he will go right into the team. Brilliant centre-back. It's not just us. A lot of clubs are linked to him. And he has I think 70, 80 million release clause, but if we negotiate, we can get it for 50 to 60 million. Age is on his side, and he can be a long-term signing for us, a long-term fix, basically. Someone like, we had Nemanja Vidic. Basically, Kunde is not all that tall, so was not Vidic. Ferdinand was tall, so we can have Maguire. So Maguire and Kunde can have a very, very, very good partnership. Either Lindelof or Maguire. So like I said, I do not have problem with either one of them. The problem I have with the partnership of Lindelof and Maguire, that doesn't work well for us. So it can be Lindelof and Kunde or Maguire and Kunde. Either one I will be happy to see. But yes, if you ask me out of the three, Jules Kunde is the ideal option. I would not have any problem with Pau Torres as well, because he's been again linked to Real Madrid. If he's linked to Real Madrid, he must be a really good player. He starts for Spanish national team along with Sergio Ramos in the heart of the defense. So again, a really good player, and he's left-footed. Yeah, Rafael Varane and Kunde are right-footed. We don't have a left-footed centre back, so this one Torres is the ideal left-footed centre back. But it's not like we need a left-footed centre back. Ferdinand and Vidic, either one of them were not left-footed. So as long as either one of them can click and replace Maguire and Lindelof and do the job, I would be happy to welcome any one of the three, because all the three are highly rated. One is a winner, one is upcoming centre back, and one is a left-footed centre back. So any one of the three I would welcome and happy to see on that pitch. Only thing I want to see is either one, Maguire or Lindelof, to be dropped on the bench. They cannot work together as a partnership. So, guys, be moving on from the centre back situation. Before I talk about the other positions we are linked to, I will talk about that players that may leave United this summer transfer window. Lingard is a possibility because he's doing really well at West Ham. He's happy at West Ham. He's got selected for England national team. He's playing really well, and I think the West Ham, the London weather suits him. So I think there's a possibility that Lingard will leave for West Ham. It'll be a 20 million deal. That's what we can expect. So that's very likely to happen. Andreas Pereira may leave. He may not go to Lazio, but another Italian club will nick around 10, 15 million there. Then Eric Bailly, a very surprising rumor has come up because Eric Bailly doesn't feel that he will get to start ahead of Lindelof and Maguire, and then a new centre back coming. So his chances of starting games are very less likely, and he wants to play regularly because he's at the peak of his career. Also, players that are looking to move out is Diego Dalot. That's again dicey because Solskjaer said in the beginning that he may leave permanent. Now he said that he may come back and be a makeshift right back if Aaron Wan-Bissaka is unwell or not fit. So apart from that, we all know Paul Pogba's situation is dicey. He may leave, he may not leave. It'll be another, blockbuster summer transfer window. Paul Pogba getting linked multiple times. Van de Beek has been linked, but I don't think he will leave, so I'm not going to discuss about that. And the most important thing, it will be either one of the goalkeepers will leave this summer. It will be either De Gea or Henderson. So, AV, normally the main question that I want to ask you is, if you see the past 3-4 years, are basically we spend around 70 million. That's net spend. After buying and selling players, our spend is 70 million. So, do you think so many players getting linked out of the club, we might end up spending more? And are we right to sell all these players that are linked right now?
But see, sending off Lingard is not a wise decision, I would say, because he's playing absolutely perfect. But the thing here is, if he comes back at United, there is no space for him to get inside the team
Exactly.
right now.
Yes.
Because, looking at his performance, yes, I would say he's doing a wonderful job at West Ham United. There is no reason that we should sell him. But when he comes back into the squad, then it's again more of a pandemic situation. He's there in the squad, he's playing good, but there's no chance for him to be given in the squad.
Correct.
It's like a 50-50 decision selling him or no. It's like a 50-50 decision for me. The goalkeepers, it's a very crucial decision, DV, I would say. Both are doing wonderfully, I think so. Dean Henderson has been the surprise package for me. I was completely dependent on David De Gea this entire season, but the way Henderson has come back, he's done a superb job, I would say. So it will be a really tough call for the management and for the board, also for Solskjaer. So I would not like to comment on it because I like both of them, David De Gea and Henderson both. Yes, Diego Dalot, I think so. He should be brought back because in case if Wan-Bissaka is injured, because if you see this entire season, Wan-Bissaka has been playing all the games. Yes, that is very good for us. It's very positive for us that being a right back, he's playing all the games and looking at his stamina, DV, the way he takes the runs in the opposition penalty area and coming back right at the defense, he's absolutely perfect in that. But looking at his health-wise, looking at his health or looking at his fitness condition, I think so he has to have a replacement more or less like him who can take runs, and you can see how Diego Dalot played in the game against when we played PSG, when we faced PSG basically. He was doing a perfect job, DV, I would say. He was doing a very good job. So I think so Diego Dalot has to be brought back. Rest more or less, I would say it's a very, it's a very mixed situation for me, a mixed feeling that Cavani would be leaving. He's not signing a new contract. So that's again a sad part for me. But looking at his age also, I would say that is fine because his wages are approximately 205k British pounds. So that's going way expensive. But looking at his age also. So I don't think so that should be fine. But the main, as you said, the blockbuster signing Paul Pogba, I don't think so that will be happening, Davy, because somehow I feel he has found his way in the squad. He's realized how important how important part he is in this squad. So till now, whatever we could hear, it was only Bruno Fernandes or it was Marcus Rashford. But now what we hear is Paul Pogba. Now that moment he is there in the squad, we automatically feel, what, we are going to do something out of this because he's back in the squad. He was missing since last 2 or 3 weeks, I feel, but the way he was back in the squad, everyone had that positive boost in their mind that we have Pogba. So
and he's the most vocal amongst all the entire team, because that's what Solskjaer said in an interview. Paul Pogba is the most vocal in the entire team, and a lot of players support him. So there's a lot of backing. So yes, you are right.
And at the same time, we find a different approach toward this game altogether. You could see last
Correct.
season he was struggling a lot. Even in fact, the start of the season, this season itself, he was
Hmm.
struggling a lot, not able to put the right passes, not giving out silly passes, which then led to a goal. And now that we see his game, it's completely a different Pogba. This is the
Yes.
Pogba that we always wanted. So I would say he should stick back. I don't think so. He will go for a transfer until unless, as you said, it will be a blockbuster transfer, maybe like a 300 or 400 million transfer, which is not going to happen anyway. So I don't think that's happening, DV. So I'm more or less happy with the squad. I would rather see couple of defenders who have not played this season. One of the favorites. I don't even like to take his name, but I think so. He should be
So I'll
Phil
tell you,
Jones.
Phil Jones. Yeah,
Phil
I'll say it
Jones,
for
yeah,
you, Phil
he
Jones.
should be out. I think so. He's played the entire season on the bench. He's getting a good wage of 75K British pounds. He's enjoying the season on the bench. Rather than we can save that money, sell him out. Maybe we can release him as a free agent. That's also fine. But we can save that
No,
amount
you
of
can't
money.
do that. You have to pay him for the entire contract if we
I know,
terminate his
but
contract.
I just
He
wish we
still
can
has
do
3 years
that
left.
because
He still has, after the season, he will still have 3 years left in his contract.
yeah, but that's the most frustrating part. That person is right on the bench. Nowadays, I don't even see him on the
No,
bench.
he's injured. He's still injured. He's not
Exactly.
even
So
on the
that's
bench. He's
that's
still
the worst
injured.
part. That person is injured, but he's still getting what he wants. He's getting the wages that he wants. But it's very frustrating that he's not able to serve the club.
Correct.
So I
Yeah, yeah.
such players don't actually deserve to be a part of the squad. Now people would sympathize against him that what, he's injured. Let him come back. He'll perform. I'm sure even when he comes back, he's not gonna perform as a perfect centre back for us. He's gonna
Mhm.
just play last 5 or 10 minutes, and just that'll be
Mhm.
the entire squad that will be playing. But
Mhm.
the more or less, DV, I think so. It's a good team that we have. Yes, there are a couple of players who should come back. Diego Dalot for me. Jesse Lingard is 50-50, and Paul Pogba has to be there. So apart from that, I'm more or less okay with the players going. What do you feel, DV?
Uh, Again, just like you, Lingard, so for me, I think he should move on because it's pointless to keep him. He plays where Bruno plays, and Bruno is unstoppable. Look at Van der Beek; he plays in a similar position. He still doesn't get the games. So if it's best for us than Lingard that we part our ways. We get the 20 million, use that to buy some other players. So I think Lingard should leave. It's good, best for him and for us as well. So that's for sure. He needs to go. Dalo, I think again the problem with Dalo is he's really good going forward, but defensively he's not all that good. He's not even half of what Bissaka is. So defensively, I don't find Dalo, that attractive. But then if you want to keep him as a backup, well, we can, So yes, Pereira needs to go. So that's because he's got a lot of chances. So Andreas Pereira needs to leave. And the goalkeeper situation. Um, Very difficult one, Dan Henderson, but I think it should be Dean Henderson because now I know a lot of fans will want Henderson at the club. Now I like Henderson. There's nothing against Henderson, but if you look at both the players' wages, it'll be difficult to set David there. He's 350 grand a week. Who's going to give him that kind of wage? He still has 3 years left on his contract after the season. So even if a club, let's say PSG is interested in him, do you think they will spend around 70, 80 million in this pandemic to buy a goalkeeper and then give him 350 grand a week? I don't think that's happening. That's going to happen. So if they actually want to sell goalkeeper, David Henderson is the one they need to sell because he's the one they can sell because David, I think no one would buy him for that kind of wages. They cannot afford the transfer fee. They cannot afford that kind of wages. I'm just saying practically, if you want to sell one goalkeeper, Henderson is the most likely to be sold because it'll be easy to sell him, and a lot of good clubs are interested in. Dortmund are interested in. Tottenham are interested in. A lot of good clubs are interested in. So we could make around 40, 50 million from that sale. So personally, I like Henderson. It's a long-term, prospect for us if we keep Henderson. But again, if we have to sell one of the goalkeepers, it'll be really, really difficult to sell David Day unless Mutogao and Fletcher find a way out to, negotiate with the club and put him across to PSG, Real, wherever they want him to go, or Juventus for that matter. So yes, that's up to Mutogao and Fletcher how they handle the situation. It's going to be a very complex situation if they want to sell either one of them because both of them have done a really decent job. David Day, basically, for me, he's a legend at United. The years that he's been, you know, he's been a wonderful player. Basically, at times when, during Mourinho and Moyes, when we were so dreadful, when we were so bad at the back, he was he was the one literally saving our asses. So basically, he's a legend at the club. So again, I don't have any problem with either one of the keepers. I'll be happy to keep any one of the keepers because for me, both of them are really, really good keepers. This is the situation that we have brought upon ourselves. We should have basically put Henderson another year loan and then looked, worked our way out for David there. But that didn't happen. So again, either one of them would be really good because we will get money from that sale to buy a centre back or a striker or defensive midfielder. And then Cavani, I think it will be free transfer. He'll leave for free because he only had 1 year and then 1 year extension. So he's not going to sign the extension. I would say Cavani did a decent job, but then again, his injury record is not all that good. So it's pointless to have a striker who can score goals, but is injured most of the time. So let's let him play for the remaining part of the season. If we can get us to the Europa League final and win us that, and then get us to the topmost position in the Premier League, I'll be really happy to see him a goodbye. But yes, Pereira, Lingard 20 million, Pereira 15 million. If Pogba goes, I don't want him to go. Pogba goes 50-60 million for that because I think he's only got 1 year in the contract, so we won't not get 100 and 150 million. That's not possible. So 50-60 million for Pogba, that gets you around 85 million. And then if either of the goalkeeper goes, add another 40 million. I'm putting it on the lower side, another 40 million. So we basically have 125 million plus the another 70 million that we spent. So yes, we will have over 150 million. But do you think our club are going to let us spend that much money? Basically, what they do is they said that's why they don't do the swap deals, because when they do a swap deal, they basically swap players. They don't get money. When let's say if they are selling Lingard, they will get 20 million for that. 5 million they'll put in the pocket. They'll only give Oli 15 million. That's what our club does, and that's really bad to see. Yes, by selling all these players, there will be a lot of money. Except for Pogba, I don't agree with. That's the only deal I don't agree with. I think Pogba should stay, but again, it's upon him and his agent. They will make a decision at the end of the transfer window, and I hope he stays at the club. I really like Paul Pogba because he's basically a blockbuster player. On his day, he can do wonders, and whenever he's on the pitch, you always feel that something is going to happen. He can make things happen on the pitch. He, along with Bruno, are very vital to our success in the future. So yes, that's all about our player that we're going to sell. The interesting situation that has been talked about for a few weeks, striker. Now it's almost obvious that we cannot sign Erling Haaland because Dortmund have slapped a 180 million euro transfer fee. I don't think United will spend 180 million. I don't think any club will have that money to spend in this pandemic. Maybe if Chelsea can, put 100 million and give Timo Werner to Dortmund, that might work out. But apart from that, I don't think any club has that potential to that kind of signing. 180 million is stupid money. And although Haaland is a brilliant player, he's all right up there with Mbappe and Ronaldo, Messi. He can be either one of those players in the future. But then 180 million is too much money. I don't think it's pointless to even talk about Haaland signing. But yes, there are a couple of strikers that we've linked to. Andre Silva is an interesting option. Now, Andre Silva has a mixed bag career. He did not do pretty well at AC Milan, but right now he's playing in Eintracht Frankfurt, and he has similar number of goals as Haaland. I think 25, 26 goals is what Haaland has scored, and equal number of goals as Andreas Silva scored. Really good striker. I think he's around in mid-20s. Could do a job for us if we have to bring in a striker like Cavani. What do you think? Is that the right kind of signing, or we should wait another year next year when Haaland's release clause of 63 million kicks in? We should go for Haaland. What should we do?
No, I think more or less, DV, I think so. Haaland would not go much lower than that. Max to max is 180. He would go to 160 max to max. Even if we go to 160, United is still not going to sign him. So I think so. We should rightly go away for Andre Silva. He's 25 years old. As you said, a very bright future with his current form right now. He scored approximately 20 goals in the last 16 games. So that says a lot about that striker. 25 years old, has a very good future. And, coming at United, with the lack of game that Martial, the lack of creativity that Martial is doing, maybe you can give him a chance right up in front, and maybe he can do wonders for us. Waiting for Haaland more or less doesn't make sense for me because it is going to be taking almost a season more. So there's one more season, and there's no, I don't think so any board is going to change or their thinking is going to change when it comes to the transfer window. So they're not going to change.
And basically, when a lot of clubs are in for one player, we never sign that player. You saw Dio Upamecano, Bayern Munich signed him. That's how it happens every time. We only sign a player when no one is for him. Bruno Fernandes, no one was in for him. That's why we got lucky.
And when it comes to all these debates regarding the transfer window, as you said very correctly, when there are 3 or 4 clubs, negotiating with a particular player, United is the first team who would step back. They would not go till the final day. They would, the moment they get to know there's a second team coming up, they would finally step back, saying we are not interested, because they know they cannot give that much amount of transfer amount. But that this is something which never used to happen during the Alex Ferguson time. Whenever that used to happen, Ferguson was the first person to make sure that if he has put a finger on a player, that player has to come inside the squad. But this is exactly the opposite thing that we see in the current United board. So I don't think so. Waiting for Haaland would make any sense for me. Rather, we go, very strong. See, the seasons are going one by one, and our performance more or less is the same. We are not consistent. We are just trying to struggle one or 2 places here or there. Last year, it was very lucky that we got a chance in the Champions League in the last season. It is more or less a similar condition in this season as well. So if we wait the same thing for the next season, I don't think so. Nothing more is going to happen good for us. So rather than waiting for Haaland, I would go for Silva TV. What do you say?
Yeah, bro, absolutely. I mean, no doubt about that. Yes, if we've got the funds, then if we want to sign player, striker, Andre Silva is a good option. There's another one, I think, at the Sociedad, Alexander Isak. He's also good. So a lot of good players who are available, and they are pretty cheaper than someone like Haaland or Harry Kane, even willing to Harry Kane. Again, those kind of stupid rumors are never going to work out. United will not fork out that money. They do not have that capacity. Even though they have that money, they won't spend. They will not spend more than 100 million, and that too 100 million if there's someone like Paul Pogba. Otherwise, they will never spend that kind of money. So again, it's pointless to even discuss about such players, because as much as you and I would like a player like Haaland and Harry Kane at United, our club doesn't have that guts to sign such big players when a lot of clubs are involved in that transfer activity. So I think yes, even after waiting for another year, yes, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has a very good friendship with Erling Haaland, basically Norwegian, and he's basically trained him when he was at Molda. He was the one who was his first coach. So yes, good relations are there. But then again, I don't think our board is competent enough to do such a deal, even if we wait for another year. So I think if player is available like Andre Silva or another any striker who's around 40, 50 million, decent enough, can score 20 goals a season, I think we should go for him. It would really improve our squad.
Absolutely.
Now, before I go to my last question, the Q&A, quickly, AB, 3 players and 3 positions that you want United to, resolve this summer transfer window.
Starting with is my favorite centre back. So centre back has to change. Either a Lindelof has to leave and Rafael Varan has to come in. And then I would go for DV, more of a central midfielder, because Fred and McTominay, more or less they would play a defensive midfielder. But someone like a Michael Carrick or a Paul Scholes who used to play for us, a player of that caliber who can, maintain the defensive midfielder.
Basically, Roy Keane. Perfect.
Yeah, more or less like a Roy Keane as well. Yes, who can, at times even put all those crucial passes to make an attacking effort at the goal.
Correct.
And last but not the least is a striker. Because Cavani leaving, Martial not performing, we need a striker. And that has to happen this window. So I would, at times even compromise with the midfielder position, but a striker and a centre back, these are 2 my main positions that I feel is very important for United right now, Devi. What do you think? Do you think 3 or 2 should be fine?
I think 3, but the 2 I agree with you. Centre back and CDM, defensive midfielder, absolutely needed. Need of the hour, and I think we should sign a centre back and a defensive midfielder. No compromise on that, because that will improve our side very, it will make basically our shape will be really good. And when we go out to play, defensively, we do not have to worry. Our players, our midfielders can have a high line. There will be one defensive midfielder and one box-to-box midfielder like Pogba, McTominay or Van de Beek, who can play in the box-to-box role, go forward, help out Bruno, will allow us to get more creativity. So that's what is really important. So for me, Kunde is a centre-back. If you ask me to sign a CDM, or name a CDM, for me, it's always going to be Ruben Neves, my favorite at Wolves.
Yes.
The ideal midfielder that we need to sign. Not sure that we are even linked to him or if we even consider him. But for me, a very underrated player. He can achieve a lot. He's got a brilliant, footballing understanding. He reads the game really well. His distribution is really good. Good tackling. Interceptions are good. So everything, all in all, a complete the defensive midfielder we need is Ruben Neves. And the third signing, if Jadon Sancho is available. Now I know we've talked about him last summer. I still want Jadon Sancho at United. So right winger Jadon Sancho. Maybe we can keep Marcel for another season. Play Marcel and Greenwood as a striker because I saw a lot of positivity in last couple of games for Greenwood when he played as a number 9. Really looked like a live wire in action, and we sign a defensive midfielder and have more creativity in the center of park. I think Greenwood will end up scoring more goals. So if we can't get Jadon Sancho, let's get a striker. But if Jadon Sancho is available, I want Jadon Sancho at United. A brilliant player. Look, the amount of the quality he brings to the side, basically in terms of creativity, scoring goals. Scores around 15 goals a season, creates that many goals. Basically, it will be like a Bruno Fernandes signing. The impact that it'll have on our club will be really great. So if we are signing Jadon Sancho, I'll compromise on a striker. Let Martial and Greenwood rotate. If not, then let's go for a striker like Andre Silva or someone of that quality. So yes, that would be my complete signing for the next summer transfer window. Let's see what our board does, because they always disappoint us. Let's see if the arrival of Mutogo and Fletcher can change things and improve our transfer activities. Now moving on to a last question. Basically, there's not a question, a Q&A basically, and it's not just AB. I want all of you guys watching this video to answer this question. Very interesting question. I know we're not at the end of the season. Still, the last part of the season is to go. 9 games in the Premier League, a few Europa League games. Like if we qualify to the finals, we'll have another 5 Europa League games. But its major part of the season is over. For you, AB, and for all those guys watching this video, who has been the best United player so far this season?
Well, DB, I have two this time. Generally, I have only one, but I have two this time. So I think it's Bruno Fernandes. For sure, there's no second thought about his name. And for me, it's Marcus Rashford as well, because I've seen Rashford grow as a player. He was more of a striker, but now he's more on the flanks right now. So, his position has changed, but the responsibility that he takes is equally as what Bruno Fernandes is taking right now. So the two players that I actually see are giving their 100% are these two players. So
we missed him in the Leicester game.
Absolutely, yes, we did, and we could see that. We could make out the difference when he was not there. And this is going to happen for the rest of the season as well. So I just hope he comes back as soon as possible. What I've read in the news is that he's not going to play any of the qualifiers or any of the matches for England.
Correct.
So that is one good thing for us as a club, that he's going to get the maximum rest that he requires. And hopefully when we resume, or maybe like next week or so, that he tries to come back, at least tries coming in the training and then gradually starts in the squad. But for me, hands down to these two players. I also want to, give a bit of credit to Wan-Bissaka as well, because he's a consistent player, playing all the games for United from the start of the season. And there's no doubt in his quality, David. I don't see a better right back than him at this moment right now. Yes, we have been lacking in the defense, but there's no problem with Wan-Bissaka, I would say. He's doing a superb job. No complaints against Wan-Bissaka. But if you really have to see the two players who are giving their 110%, for me, it's Marcus Rashford and Bruno Fernandes. What about you, Davey?
I also have two players. Basically, see, I'll talk about these two players. Why would I rate them? If you ask me, the best player is always going to be Bruno. But what different Bruno has done? This is what he did last season. He continued that form next season. He's brought in that many goals and assists this season. So this is always expected of Bruno. For me, the most improved player this season is by far easily Luke Shaw, my favorite player. The way he's played this season is brilliant. I don't think there is another better left back not just in England, but all across Europe than Luke Shaw. I know people will talk about the Bayern Munich left back, will talk about Jordi Alba, but I think right now you can say anything you want, but there's no debating this. Luke Shaw is the best left back in Europe. Going forward, back and defending. He's pocketed Mohamed Salah. He's had given difficulties to Riyad Mahrez, Raheem Sterling, all world-class players. He's come one-on-one against them, and he's come on top. Not only has he done that, going forward, look at the number of assists, the crosses he puts. The arrival of Alex Telles has literally, sparked his game up. And for me, he's been the best player this season, along with Bruno Fernandes. Yes, Marcus Rashford has been equally good, and the number of goals that he's contributed. The thing about Rashford is he may not have a good game. He may have a really, really poor game, but he'll produce that one moment of magic, and that'll change the entire game. We saw that against Wolves, the Wolves game. You had a really, really bad game. 91st minute, bang on target, scores the goal, and we win that game. 3 points. So that's how important Rashford is. Yes, Rashford is important to the squad, and it is equally Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I really like these players. They have been our pillars, for our success. Martial has not been up to the mark, and so has been Greenwood. But I think Greenwood is very young, and I think with the experience he'll do better. But yes, Bruno Fernandes and Luke Shaw, my two players. And guys, do let us know in the comment section who do you think has been the best player for Man United. You can name more than one. That's completely up to you. I'll leave that to you. But please let us know your opinion. It matters to us the most. So, AB, how was the show? How did you like it? We didn't talk about pre-game, post-match analysis. Something different we did. How did you like it?
The first time I was having no emotions. I was very happy. Generally, I'm very angry looking at the score or whatever the score happened. And nowadays, we are more on the losing side. Especially after the Leicester game, I was really frustrated looking at the squad and looking at what players did. But today, I was a bit more relaxed. I came with a relaxed mood because we didn't have to talk much about the game. So it was very good. I think so. We should keep on doing such frequent videos, Devi, so we can keep on being updated even about the transfer market, which is a very important part of this club as well.
Yes.
It was good for me, Devi.
Thank you, AB, for coming on the show. And guys, let us know your opinion. To subscribe to our channel, we are on our way to 500 subscribers, and your opinion. You guys are the most important to us because this is a fan channel, created by United fans for United fans. Something which you will not see not everywhere. People talk about their opinion. They don't respect others' opinion, but your opinion for us, guys, matters the most. You can be Ole out. You can say Pogba is a bad player. You can, criticize Bruno. It's all fine because we are fans and we respect each other's opinion, and that's a beautiful part about being a fan. Thank you guys once again for watching this show. We might see you at the midweek or at the weekend. We'll let you know, guys, in our social media post to watch that post as well. Thank you once again, guys. Have a great day and take care of yourselves. Happy Holi to everyone in India.
Happy Holi, guys.